Will there be enough water at sufficient pressure? This depends on the water system. Residual pressure, friction loss, main size, velocity, static pressure, head. Water may exist in any of three states: as a solid, a liquid, or a gas. It is the liquid that firefighters depend on. Water offers little resistance to change of shape, conforming easily to any container. Within any container or system, water will settle with all surfaces level. For all practical purposes, water is incompressible. While it will fit any container, it cannot be forced into a space smaller than its own volume. Compression forces are transmitted equally in all directions. Water exerts pressure against the bottom and sides of a container. At equal depths, the pressure is equal. While volume and weight remain constant, more pressure is exerted when the water column is highest. The height of a column of water is called head. The less head, the less pressure. To calculate pressure and flow, it is necessary to know the common units of water measurement. Water weighs 8.3 pounds per gallon. Another measurement of water is the cubic foot, which holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1/2 gallons, and weighs 62.4 pounds. If the cubic foot is divided into inch square columns 1 foot high, there will be 144 columns, each weighing 0.43 pounds, and exerting that much pressure per square inch on the bottom. When the head of water in an inch square column is 2.31 feet, it exerts a pressure of 1 pound. A useful rule for quick estimates is to drop the 0.31 and consider a 2-foot head of water as exerting 1 psi. This allows pressure head conversions to be made by multiplying or dividing by 2. The pressure at the bottom of a still column of water is stationary or static pressure because nothing is moving. Most water systems have an elevated tank or standpipe to provide head. The static pressure developed by the head in the tower can be measured at the hydrant. Using rule of thumb, doubling this 54 psi reading indicates a head of about 108 feet. Static pressure in a water system may vary because of elevation changes. At lower elevations, hydrant pressure is greater because the head is greater. This 66-pound reading indicates an increase in head of about 24 feet. the number of elevation changes in a water system does not affect the static pressure. Because this hydrant is at the same level as the first, the pressure is again 54 psi. Static pressure at the hydrant is the starting point in determining the quality of a fire stream, but it is not the only factor. The flow at an orifice or discharge opening on the fire ground or back at the source is governed by two factors: the potential energy of pressure, which becomes the kinetic energy of velocity, and the size of the orifice. With two orifices of the same size, the one with twice the head will produce twice the discharge in a given unit of time. This is commonly measured in gallons per minute. If the head is equal, but one orifice is twice the diameter of the other, the total area will be 4 times larger, and 4 times as much water will be discharged. Gallons per minute always depend upon these variables: orifice size and pressure converted to velocity. In a pipe system, velocity is restricted, and part of the potential energy remains as pressure. Because water is incompressible, the pressure forces velocity to increase as a pipe becomes smaller. A tapered pipe allows a gradual and more complete changeover from pressure to velocity. As velocity increases, pressure falls, and negative pressures may develop along the sides of a pipe. This principle is often used in suction devices, or to introduce additives in fire streams. Some nozzles are tapered to give the fire stream good velocity. When velocity is slowed, pressure builds. Instant shutoff leads to infinite pressure, causing water hammer and possible damage to the system. Velocity leads to turbulence in parts of the system. Turbulence restricts flow because, in effect, it reduces pipe size, especially at bends. Water in contact with any pipe wall tends to roll or eddy rather than slide along. Energy losses from the turbulence are referred to as friction loss, which can become excessive at high velocities. When pipe sizes are increased, friction losses are reduced. Because 100 feet of 8-inch pipe holds more gallons than a 6 or a 4, lower velocities can deliver the same number of gallons per minute. Each 100 feet of pipe between the tower and the hydrant adds to friction loss. Static pressure in psi minus friction loss equals flowing pressure. This flowing pressure is referred to as residual pressure. Where fire lines are laid directly from the hydrant, pressure remaining at the nozzle is likely to be low. Additional demands on the water system will further reduce residual pressure. If fire streams are to be effective, energy losses due to friction must be overcome. centrifugal pump is a device for adding velocity to the fire stream and providing good pressure at the nozzle. Correct nozzle pressure is important for both attack lines and lines laid out to protect exposure.
Give me a hand!
Ineffective or excessive pressures on the fire ground can be avoided if the firefighter understands how water behaves. Most firefighters know where the water is, but how much is available at a fire ground must be established by testing the system regularly. Proper delivery of water to the fire is a challenge that can be met only by knowing and applying the basic principles of water flow.